And good morning, everyone. Welcome to a kind of rainy this day.
I know, kind of a bummer, but nonetheless, welcome. It is Thursday, and it is May 16th, and it's National Caesar Day. Okay, not Caesar salad, but we'll tell you what kind of Caesar I'm talking about right after you tell us who's on.
All right, on our show today from Harvard Eye Associates, we have Dr. John Hovannisian, and he is going to be talking about LASIK for seniors. We've talked about this before, how somebody's getting cataract surgery versus getting LASIK, and how they all kind of tie in or maybe don't tie in with each other, but that's what we're going to find out today. Social Services is up here. We're going to have a couple guests talking about their Friendly Visitor program and tell you a little bit how you can get involved with that. And also a couple folks from the India Club, they're talking about an upcoming event, a meeting. It's called Laguna Woods Got Talent, and they'll tell you all about that. And we're bringing you a segment with Erica Ritchie of The Globe.
All right, and our meetings today, we have the Mutual United Reserves meeting at 1:30 in the boardroom, and then we have the Mutual 50 board meeting in the Towers Key Club at 2. And then we have the United Resident Advisory Committee, which will be in the Sycamore Room at 4 o'clock. Okay, so National Caesar Day actually isn't an American holiday. It is a Canadian holiday, but I chose it because one of my favorite drinks happens to be the Bloody Mary. However, the Caesar is made with clam juice instead of tomato juice. And as you can see here, it has all the same ingredients as a Bloody Mary. But let me just tell you, it's important to note that a Caesar is not a Bloody Mary. The clam juice makes the difference. A basic Caesar includes vodka, celery salt, hot sauce, ground pepper, clamato, which is the clam juice, Worcestershire sauce, a lime wedge, and a celery stalk. Now, many people add olives, pickled green beans, bacon, and other snacks to their Caesar, or in our case, a Bloody Mary. It was invented in Calgary, Alberta in 1969 by restaurateur Walter Schell to celebrate the opening of a new Italian restaurant. He devised the cocktail, being tasked to create a signature drink for the Calgary Inn's new Italian restaurant. He mixed vodka with clam juice and tomato juice, Worcestershire sauce, and other spices. He created a drink obviously similar to the Bloody Mary, but it had its own unique flavor with the clam juice. Schell said his inspiration came from Italy. He recalled that in Venice they served spaghetti alla vongole, spaghetti with tomato sauce and clams. He reasoned that the mixture of clams and tomato sauce would make a good drink, and mashed clams to form a nectar that he mixed with other ingredients. It quickly became popular mixed drink within Canada, where over 350 million Caesars are consumed annually. When suffering from a hangover, consider a Caesar or a Bloody Mary the next morning. While not a guaranteed cure, either one can sometimes help fix the damage from the night before. And as I have here, oh, look at this picture. It would seem that these days they are adding more and more things to these Bloody Marys and Caesar to make it more like a meal, so you don't even need to order any food. But anyway, I brought along a good old favorite called Mr. T&T's Bloody Mary Mix. Didn't bring the vodka because it is a work day, you know, but we brought this. So anyway, happy Caesar Day or Bloody Mary Day, whatever you prefer. Ken?
Yes, I'm not a big fan of Bloody Marys, but you know the bottle you have there, Mr. and Mrs. T, that was started, of course, by Mr. T, and it used to come with gold chains on the bottle, and the slogan, "I pity the fool." No, it's not really. It's not. Although I said that could be used for many things. Like as a marinade or making gazpacho, and it's actually pretty good stuff in that bottle. All right, here we go with the rain. I kind of like this. I turned off my sprinklers a few days ago because I knew the rain was coming in. Now it came in a little bit later here. It's kind of stalled out, however, so we're getting it now. So if you're watching us in the morning, yesterday I said we'd probably get rain overnight into the morning, then tapering off in the afternoon. Looks like now we'll probably get it to early evening, maybe late afternoon. There is still a chance we could get a little sun poking through later, so we'll see about that. Partly cloudy Friday and Saturday. Sunday we're looking mostly cloudy day with a little light drizzle. And then looking ahead, there is another chance for a light drizzle, less so on Tuesday of next week. But you can see all our temperatures are a good 8 to 10 degrees below what they normally would be right now. Really normal would be right in the mid 70s, as about 75 or so. So we're way below that. But again, this is not unusual. Every few years we will get a little rain in May. Now let's look around Orange County and beyond, and look at Arrowhead. I want to point that out to you. 44 degrees. I mean, they're down by just a few days ago. They were hitting about 65 degrees. So big change up there. Palm Springs is down by compared to a couple days ago by about 20 degrees. So all these temperatures are quite cool for this time of the year. But I welcome it. I'm beginning to plant my garden. So there we go. Nothing wrong with that at all. We could always use a little bit of rain. And we forgot to mention the meetings. So we're going to put that up on the screen. I think there's a couple meetings, 3 meetings. No problem there. We'll get right to them. United Reserves meeting at 1:30. This is looking ahead to how they want to plan their reserves, I think, over the next 3 to 5 years or so. Mutual 50 has their board meeting at 2. And United has their resident advisory committee at 4 in the Sycamore room. So there we have it, and we will be back in just a moment.
What do you get when you take a widow who's ready to start dating, a singer aged out of the cruise circuit, a lawyer who was betrayed by her once ill husband, and a woman whose husband left her for the whore from Gate 4? Put them all together and you have Tales from the Woods, written by Terry Louise Fisher, known for classics such as L.A. Law and Cagney and Lacey, along with the old prose. Tales from the Woods follows these 4 ladies as they take advantage of new opportunities while starting a new chapter in life, all while meeting some pretty colorful characters along the way. Join us every Friday at 6 p.m. and Monday at noon, only on Village Television.
It's not surprising that the most memorable memorials are the ones we plan ourselves. After all, who knows you better than you? So why not get a plan together and let us take care of the details? It's what we're known for. Find out how at DignityOrangeCounty.com. Only a Dignity Memorial professional can celebrate a life like no other.
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks, damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit ReadyOC.org for more information on emergency preparedness and AlertOC.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
You've trusted the doctors at Harvard Eye Associates with your eyes for the last 4 decades. Now it's time to trust us with your face. Our board-certified surgeons and aesthetic nurse offer the latest in facial aesthetic treatments, such as Botox, dermal fillers, laser skin rejuvenation, eyelid surgery, and face and neck lip surgery. Call us today to schedule your complimentary cosmetic consultation. 949-951-2020. Ask about our limited time savings on Botox and dermal fillers.
Welcome back. With me right now from Harvard Eye Associates is Dr. John Hovannisian. And Doctor, today we are talking about, I think, things that, we've talked about this before, but things that, procedures people might get confused on. We're talking about cataract surgery, LASIK surgery, lens implants, and it is kind of confusing to folks. It's a subject we've gone back and forth and talked about before. So welcome. Good to have you here today.
It's good to see you too. Yeah, the subject of vision can be really confusing for people. You know, I'm nearsighted. Does that mean I can't see far away? Or, you know, I'm farsighted, but I can't see far well. How is that farsighted? The terms that we use kind of go back many, many years, and they don't really describe very well what most of us experience if we have our vision. So, and then things all change. If we're old enough to have cataracts, that's a clouding of the internal lens of the eye. And for people who have it, the light coming into the eye becomes scattered, and everything becomes less distinct, like you're looking through gauze or a fine filter. And then the vision that you have can all change because the lens is changing. And of course, we treat this condition by doing cataract surgery, and we have a picture here of what's happening inside the lens. On the left side, the upper lens picture. The lens in your eye is about the size of an aspirin tablet. And it becomes gradually changes color and changes its hardness and becomes cloudy throughout life. That's cataract.
Okay.
So when we do cataract surgery, we're replacing that lens with an artificial lens implant that goes inside the eye. And we have a picture of an implant here that shows a real eye, and you can see inside the pupil there, which is the sort of reddish colored area. Normally it looks black because there's no light bouncing off the back of it. But you can see the edge of the lens implant sitting inside the eye and filling the space in the eye. Normally with the pupil not dilated, all the light passes through that implant. We don't even see it when we look at the eye of someone who has an implant, and it focuses the light beautifully. Those lenses, of course, there's a whole science around those and choosing them.
It's impressive.
It's impressive, and we can now, it's like a friend of mine says, in California, aging is optional. And with the modern implants we have now, we can more or less tailor a patient's vision to what they want. One of the commonest questions that we get, though, is what about LASIK? You know, when we talk about cataract surgery and putting in sort of a custom implant, is that LASIK surgery? Or could I just have LASIK surgery instead of cataract surgery? And I brought these pictures and thought it would be worth talking about today to make it clear what the difference is. So in LASIK surgery, which we hear all about because it's advertised a lot, it's a wonderful procedure for taking people who don't have cataracts, who have a healthy clear lens inside their eye, but want to get rid of their glasses or their contact lenses. And so what we're doing in LASIK surgery is treating the very front of the eye. And you can see the difference here. It's that front window, the cornea. And we're using a laser to reshape the tissues. In what makes LASIK is that we lift the surface layer out of the way. And you see in the picture on the screen, you know, the surface layer has been kind of lifted out of the way. That separation of the tissues is done with another laser. And then the laser is applied to the underside there where we reshape. So,
Yeah, I didn't realize that you lift that out. Now, we've talked about this before, and I had brought up the case of like my sister, and she's, what, 53? So I think when she was fairly young, in her 30s, she had LASIK. Remarkable transformation for her. However, when she also, last year before, had the cataracts for both eyes. And so there was a bit more complications in a sense because she had LASIK at one time, even though it was 15, 18 years before. So explain that. Why just some people who have LASIK years before, there may be some, I don't want to say complications, but there's a little bit more to it.
Let's say there's a little more complexity to getting it right with cataracts. So about 30% of the patients that I see and treat are people who've had previous LASIK surgery when I'm doing cataract surgery. It's a large number of patients we see, and so we are very accustomed to doing it. It's not unusual. But an eye that has been surgically altered in the past is a little different from and a little more complicated in measuring and selecting a lens implant for them. And for someone like your sister who has that history, after cataract surgery, the healing of their eye can change from what we expect. And so there's a little more plus and minus in selecting a lens implant in people who've had previous LASIK. Now, having said that, our odds of success are still very high, and 90% of patients who are treated are very pleased. And those who aren't, we can often do a little LASIK touch-up afterwards. We're even coming out now with lens implants. Recently, the FDA approved a lens implant where you can adjust it after it's implanted inside the eye. And there are several more of these coming. We have an implant design now that will be coming out from a local company that is upgradable in the future, where what we implant in the eye is a frame that holds the lens, similar to an eyeglass frame, but inside the eye. And this eyeglass frame doesn't wear out like the ones you toss on the counter and drop and sit on. And this eyeglass frame stays for life, and so any future technology can be potentially upgraded and put inside of it, like a new lens inside the eye.
Wow,
so,
that's very promising.
It's exciting.
I mean, it is.
The idea of upgradable eyes, most of our body parts are not upgradable.
No, they aren't. So let me ask you this: for people who are, like some of you, myself, I'm 62. I wear these, little $15 reading glasses. I hate them because I've got pairs here and there, and I'll walk outside to the garden shed and try and look at my seed packet. Oh, left my glasses inside. So somebody like myself, what would I be looking for? We've talked about this before. Yes, LASIK would help me. There's no question. However, would it be better for somebody like me, maybe wait a few years with this technology, which is rapidly growing, and just look into getting a lens implant where I'm not going to even have to worry about my sight too much or cataracts in the future?
Yeah, this is a great question, and it's a common question. And what you should do at your age, and which, by the way, 62 going on 42, looking at you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You're the youngest 62 I've seen.
It's Nivea skin products. No, I'm just kidding.
What was it Truman Capote say? It's getting plenty of sleep, good exercise, and lots of makeup.
Yeah.
So healthy living helps a lot. At your stage, it really depends upon how much cataract you have in your eye. If there's a little bit of clouding, you're probably a better candidate for cataract surgery. And even prematurely doing cataract surgery will not only correct your vision permanently without future change, but also, as you said, get rid of future cataracts so you'll never need to undergo that procedure. The alternative would be a laser procedure now, but usually over 60, we tend to lean more toward lens-based surgery because of the likely onset. So the average patient going through cataract surgery is about 69 years old. So you're for somebody like you, on average, and you may be younger than average in terms of your body may take longer to develop cataract, but you got about 7 years before that'll be coming. And you can choose to do it sooner if you need to, and use whatever technology is available at the time. When patients ask us, okay, I'm not in a rush to get cataract surgery because I don't quite have a full cataract, should I wait until better technology comes along? That's a little bit like waiting to buy your computer.
Right.
If you're a few months away from having something fabulous that's about to be released, then maybe you wait. But we don't know what will be coming in exactly when, whether it's 3 years or 5 years or 10. And so when you're having trouble with your eyes, that's the time to use the best technology available at that time.
Yeah, and that's true with any technology. When it's there and you're
it'll
ready
always
for
be
it,
getting better.
It will. That's
and it's
just
pretty
the way
good
it
right
is.
now too. So.
All right, great talk.
Great to see you
I love
as well.
hearing about this because it really affects so many people.
It's relevant to all of us.
Yeah, and to hear about these new technologies, the difference between them is always great information. Thank you very much.
Such a pleasure to see you, Ken.
All
Thanks.
right, you take care, and we'll be right back.
individual care, specialized care. At Harvard Eye Associates, your vision and quality of life can be trusted to a group of specialists that provide advanced technology for the treatment of cataracts, including laser-assisted surgery, a broad range of intraocular lenses, and astigmatism correction. Come join the circle of care at Harvard Eye Associates, where the future of vision is today.
I just love that ring. Where'd you get it?
I got it at the Jewelry Box. I saw it on Facebook, and then I went in and bought it. They have the most unique, awesome pre-owned pieces for amazing prices.
The Jewelry Box of Lake Forest, voted best jewelry store in Orange County for 8 straight years, offering unmatched prices on fine jewelry and watches, refurbished to new condition.
Visit us in our store or shop our website for just arrived items.
The Jewelry Box. It's about trust.
My name is Angela. I'm 51 years old and I was diagnosed with a heart murmur. Before the surgery, I was struggling to breathe. I was missing out a lot on playing with my son. I decided to go to Hoag from Nevada to have my mitral valve repair because the surgeons there are excellent.
My personal approach to patient care is really taking care of a patient as if they're a member of my family.
After the surgery, I can chase him and run around and play with him as much as he wants. It's like a miracle. It's like this patient made it through the toughest time in their life, and it's an awesome feeling.
The feeling to see these patients recover, especially when they're critically ill like that, it's just the best feeling in the world.
We wanted this to be one of the top cardiovascular centers in the region, the state, the nation, and to be recognized for that. We've achieved that.
If I had to go back and make the same choice, I would choose Hoag again. They treated me like family. This changed my life, and now I get to be with my son.
At LA Carpet & More, you'll find the largest selection, all at the lowest prices, every day. Now choose from dozens of top carpet and tile brands at 50% off. Or choose from our versatile waterproof wood and laminate flooring, an incredible value at 50% off. Or a complete kitchen and bath remodel in a variety of styles is now 50% off. Plus get 5 years 0% financing. Refresh your home for less from the #1 choice, LA Carpet & More.
LA Carpet, #1 for you.
The Red Sox are 1 out away. And the Dodgers are down to their final strike. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series. And the best team in baseball wins it all.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
And I'd like to welcome from our Social Services Department today a couple guests that have not been on before, so it's great to have them here with Kathy and Depp. And I apologize to them ahead of time because I thought I had a sheet that had their full names on it, and I don't. I left it somewhere, so I apologize to you.
No worries, no
so,
worries. So,
Kathy, what's your last name?
Viafana.
And Depp?
Palteo.
All right, thank you very much. So I apologize for that. However, I've got all the information about the Friendly Visitor Program. And this is a program that's been going on for years and years. What's nice about this has expanded to include now working with the Council on Aging, which has their own program. So it's kind of expanding to give really more opportunity for folks. And this is where you two come in as social worker and program coordinator, right?
Right, right.
So again, welcome. So tell me a bit about this program and the basics of it if people have not heard of it before.
Sure. So just to reiterate, we are part of the Social Services Department, and we train active members to in the community to be friendly visitors to less active members. And we really want to address the isolation and loneliness in the community for those members that don't have family members nearby, or if they don't have a good support system. And we also just want to get the needed resources, services, and support in their hands.
Okay, and Deb, one of the, as far as the resources, the fact that you folks have now partnered with the Council on Aging, which of course has so many different things that they offer and work with seniors, this helps as well, right?
Yes, so Laguna Woods Village Social Services Department recently partnered with Council on Aging Southern California. And my position here as a friendly visitor social worker is funded by Council on Aging.
Yeah, and that really helps out the community in a whole, and having that partnership brings a lot more resources.
Yeah. It's great because now we have a dedicated social worker devoted to the program. Yeah, we didn't have that before. We always had the social workers in the department helping, but now DEP is kind of where we work closely together with all of the participants in the program as well as the volunteers. So it's a wonderful thing to have working side by side this way.
So you're both located downstairs in our
Yes.
office. Now, are you here with the community, so to speak, or are you kind of given to us as a resource from the Council on Aging?
So like you were saying, it's like a resource from Council on Aging in my role as social worker, but Kathy is here with Laguna Woods Village.
Okay, and that's, we're seeing this more and more. For instance, you mentioned before we came on, Dustin, who we've had on, who is from Memorial Care, which is not unusual. In the past, we had somebody from Memorial Care for years. And again, this brings some much needed resources and really offers more to the folks here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, as a program coordinator, is it your job to kind of match people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So first I meet with people who want to be in the program, and what I do is I go into their home, I go and meet with them because they're isolated, I come to them, and I find out a little bit about their background, like what kind of maybe jobs or what they did in their past, and also find out what their hobbies and interests are. The reason I do that is when it comes to matching them with a volunteer, I really want to find the person who's really going to have that connection with them.
Right.
So that's part of it.
Yeah, that's very important because there could be certain things that they either really like or really don't like, and we want to match that up.
So, and then on the other side, my role is working directly with the volunteers. So people come into the office or they call me, and I talk to them, get to know about their backgrounds as well, do the same kind of thing, and then I explain the expectations of the role, and we want our volunteers to visit either once a week or every other week for about an hour, and then just explain that, and then I invite them to a training. We have training, and from there we just kind of go on. So,
And Deb, what if they get together, they really hit it off? Can they go out beyond their residence? Can they?
Yes.
Is it okay if the volunteer says, "Yeah, I'd like to, for us to go drive somewhere and go see a movie or whatever it might be"?
That's the new part of the program and the growth of the program, because they're allowed to, if the volunteer would like to drive the individual out and maybe have a cup of coffee. We've suggested going to the movies together, participating in clubs at the club's house, things that are resources and recreational activities that is provided here, and they might not have been able to. And having that friend to go with them, not be as lonely, and the challenges of making friends and knowing all these events that they can go to together.
And I think that's part of the kind of the change that's happened, because years ago, it was strictly you go to their residence, you visit them, you can't really go anywhere, or you're not really, that's really not part of it. But to expand this is, it's better for everyone.
The goal is to decrease that social isolation.
Right. Now, you mentioned how you coordinate. If somebody does want to become a volunteer, the first step is, of course, to contact just social services. Just call the main number, whatever. I know you have your own number, but really just call the main number and go from there.
Call the main number. The main number is 597-4267, and they're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And Social Services Department is here in the community center on the first floor. Just come in, you can call or come in, and I just would love to meet with anybody who would love to volunteer.
Okay, and Deb, the same thing with residents?
Yes.
The other side of it, I should say, the people who want to have a visitor.
Yeah, or maybe if you know of your neighbors that might need, we get referrals from everywhere.
Absolutely.
You might not see your neighbor as often, and you notice that they're more isolated, haven't seen them in a while. Refer them to us. Call our main line. It could be anonymous, so that way we get them connected to a friendly visitor volunteer.
All right, now we're just about out of time, but let me ask you about the person themselves that is looking for a visitor. Are there all different reasons? Maybe they don't have family in the area, maybe they're just a type of individual that either can't go out or just it's harder for them to just make themselves available for people and introduce themselves to others.
Yeah, there's no one specific profile. So don't just assume you have to be one particular case. So please call us and we'll talk about whether this is a right fit. Absolutely. And we do have different scenarios. So we do have lots of different people in different situations.
Yeah.
So yes, this program is for lots
all
of different
people.
situations.
And I think one of the real benefits here is when a volunteer comes there, maybe that volunteer is someone who's involved with one of the other clubs or something in recreation. Maybe they're in one of the performance clubs, and the goal, I think the great goal is if the person's available to bring them into the mix and get them out and meet others as well.
In fact, somebody just brought their visitee, their participant to a comedy night.
Yeah.
And that was a great,
That's how it all
that
starts.
was a great outing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Ladies, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here today. And again, if you'd like more information, please call 597-4267 and you can get more information there. From the Friendly Visitor Program or anything to do with social services. They're on the first floor of this building if you want to go in there yourself and find out what it's about. They all have all kind of helpful people and helpful brochures in there as well. All right, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
I'm Wendy Miller, your Smiley Realtor with RE/MAX and your Laguna Woods real estate specialist. I'm here today with the first of my 7 home selling tips for seniors. Some seniors prefer to rely on the real estate agent who has sold the most properties in their neighborhood. Others seek the most often recommended from family and friends. The right professional will ask questions about your future goals. He or she will help you decide upon a realistic listing price and answer all of your questions promptly before asking you to sign a listing agreement. Give me a call and I will help you make the right move.
Welcome back. Well, I have 2-time nationally awarded Erica Ritchie here, who is, of course, our Globe Headlines gal, but she's also Orange County Register reporter, and I'm so honored to be in your presence today. I love that. Congratulations to you, and thank you for coming and giving us all the latest and greatest.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday, villagers. So I guess our first thing that we'll talk about is the annual Spring Horse Show. It was held at the Equestrian Center, and dozens of people turned out. There were parades, and there were equestrian demonstrations, and then there was a special kind of comedic skit between Dynamite and Kristen Olson, who runs the center supervisor. And so that was an amazing thing. And for residents who are interested in coming out and doing trail rides at the center, they can come out every day, or excuse me, not every day, from Wednesday to Sunday from 7 to 4 p.m. The Equestrian Center is open to make reservations to go out on a trail ride.
Oh, that's great.
How fun would that be?
It is a great thing, and I know that Ken and I are trying to get out there one of these days to go do some fun stuff there. So we definitely want to get out there. So I'm glad they're starting their trail rides.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather will hold up.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe it'll be something, you can ride along and go a little bit away from the marine layer, ride inland or something. That would be fun. I'd like to go out on those trail rides myself. And then as far as the interchange project that we've talked about before here at El Toro and the 5 freeway, so a meeting was held last week, 150 people attended, and OCTA and Caltrans officials presented the project. They presented 3 alternatives, including the flyover, and they gave residents more information about it, and then also took input from residents. And the project is supposed to help with the traffic congestion and ease mobility in the area. The project, if everything goes as planned, is expected to start in 2028 and conclude in 2030.
Oh, so not even until 2028?
No.
Oh, so what was supposed to happen in 2020? I thought, well, anyway, who knows? But 2028, and we're already starting.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
they're talking about it. They're talking because they've got to get it through all the different, state review boards and the coastal commissions and so forth. I mean, they've got a lot of permitting that has to take place.
True.
So, and the city also, everything still has to be approved. I think they're taking it to the Laguna Woods City Council meeting pretty soon to present that.
Okay.
And it's in the end is going to cost between $175 and $241 million. So that's a lot of taxpayers' money going to that. But I mean, it'll open up the area hopefully for people traveling around here. So maybe it'll improve the congestion.
Right.
Then in other news, the Golden Rain Foundation made an upgrade to its vehicle traffic and parking policy. And so basically, if you're now found parking in a handicap spot, or if you've got your RV illegally parked, you can no longer qualify for traffic school. So you may want to watch out, where you're parking. And so they have taken that off the opportunities. So basically, you've got to watch out if you're parking in those locations. Don't do it because you're no longer having that easier way out.
Right.
Then in other news, there's a low-cost vaccination clinic will be held for dogs and cats on June the 2nd. It's going to go from 9 to 11 a.m. and it's going to be held at the Laguna Woods City Hall.
Oh, good.
And then I feel like there was one other thing that I'm missing. Oh yeah, and then also actually no, that is all my news that I wanted to report from the Globe. In other fun news, I can report that a story that I covered a week ago, and I believe ran in the Globe either last week or is in there this week possibly. Is the conclusion to the Catalina Runway project.
Right.
And so the project, as you remember, was a joint project between the Department of Defense, the Marine Corps, and the Navy, and with the Catalina Conservancy. And it was basically a win-win. It was something that the Catalina Conservancy otherwise would have never been able to pay for, but by making it a training project for the Marines and the Navy Seabees, it turned out, a doable situation. So now the runway is restored, and on a week ago, all these cool planes, like some of those that you see on the pictures right now, all arrived, flew over the runway. There we see some of the Marine Corps top commanders smiling and happy about their completed project. And the highlight of the event was when an old DC-3 landed. That was the first plane to land. It was there, and we see it again right before the ribbon cutting. It was the first plane to land on the runway, and basically everybody was cheering and taking photos. It was just amazing, and that plane was owned by Wrigley.
Okay.
So it was basically brought out. Apparently, it is I guess I was going to say airported, but I guess its home base is in Santa Barbara, but it flew in for the event.
That is awesome. I didn't realize that large planes could land there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. And so that was very definite highlight, and everybody was happy, of course, with their achievement. Then I guess lastly we'll talk about the letters that we received.
Good.
And we are getting some letters again, so thank you, villagers. We're very happy to get your comments, good or bad on anything. And the topics this week included a request for a golf partner, a thank you to the landscape crew for mowing the grassy area near the manor before schedule, and also the good, the bad, and the ugly with Aliso Creek.
Oh.
So that was, we appreciated that. The letter that we'll feature today is a letter from Lila Roble, who writes, "This letter is a thank you to the Transportation Department. Now when I schedule a Plan A ride pickup, a confirmation is sent to me via email. This is a terrific idea," she writes. Thanks to the person who thought of it. It saves me so much stress, no more worrying that my ride will not show up. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good feature.
Yeah, that is
Excellent.
awesome. So that's good, you know, that people are writing in, people are responding, and they're getting, and she's, you know, thankful about this new transportation for Plan a Ride. So we give a kudos out to Plan a Ride Pickup.
Good. Yeah, we try to promote Plan a Ride all the time because, you know, it takes a little effort to make your reservation, and now we've got confirmation.
Yeah.
So excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Always nice to see
You're
you, and
welcome.
congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much.
And remember, you can always get your copy of the Globe on the first floor of the Community Services Building at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. And remember, keep those letters coming. We'll be right back.
What lies inside all of us is more than data. It's life. What's flowing through America's veins is its diversity. We ask for 1 million individuals to come forward and stand on this landmark in history. All of us are different, and it's those very differences that will lead to answers for generations to come.
Welcome back. Today in studio, we have Cash and Archana, who are here with the India Club. Well, welcome, and you look so beautiful in that green. I just love it.
Thank you. Kind of summer color.
Yes, I love that, to kind of bring some brightness in our little day today, since it's not so nice outside.
Yes.
So welcome both of you today.
Thank you, Lisa.
Why don't we talk a little bit about the India Club and what you guys do?
Oh, well, the India Club has been in existence for more than 10 years in Laguna Woods. However, right now we are on a momentum. We are growing. We are having more memberships. Okay. Of course, we cannot take members from outside, but within Laguna Woods, we are getting more members. Lots of Indians are moving in.
Okay.
So we have more Indian families who join us. And also Americans, the mainstream people, they are developing more interest in not only in the Indian food, but Indian entertainment as well.
Okay.
And so they are also joining us. So in our last show, actually on March 28, we had a nice function and 175 people attended.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great turnout.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, do you mostly have performances, or what do you guys do in your meetings?
Indian culture we bring together. We bring history about India, tours to India. We had an excellent show of someone putting on slides of different places to visit in India.
Okay.
We had Rabindranath Tagore's performance. We had done a lot of things. Susmita Mukherjee was the president before I got to be the president. So she had her own people, in the sense, contacts, bring things to demonstrate, to show what India is about.
Okay.
And we have excellent food.
I was going to say, don't forget the food.
Tailored to soft palates. We don't like very hot food.
Okay.
And India has 360 dialects and so many different cultures that people want to know what India is about.
Right.
And India has one of the oldest civilization, and also it's the largest democracy in the world.
Wow.
So we tell about India, we tell about Indian food, and we want to be part of the community. We're fun-loving people.
Well, one of these days, I want you to bring us some food.
Sure.
Do you like to cook?
Sure. Me cooking? Don't go.
No. Okay, so we're not going to have him do it. But how about you? Bring us some food next time. We'd love to taste some of the delicious food you guys do, and educate us on your food. That would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Well, you have a very fun event that's coming up the end of the month. So tell me about it.
On May 30th, which is a Thursday, we are going to have our program at Clubhouse 7 at 5:30 in the evening.
Okay.
This time, instead of calling people from outside to perform for us, we thought, hey, we have very talented people right here in Laguna Woods. They are retired people. They have honed and cultivated their talent all their life. And some of them are maybe too eager to, use and show us their talent. So we advertised and we encouraged local talent. And yes, we had a lot of entries signed up. A variety of entries, yes. And they are from the Indian community as well as the mainstream community.
Okay. Now, what kind of performances will they be doing?
Well, of course, we have some songs like Bollywood songs.
Oh, nice.
Bollywood movies are very popular.
Yes.
And those songs are ultra popular. So some of our people, they are going to sing the Bollywood songs. They can be romantic songs. They can be all kinds of songs, funny songs, even comic songs. Then there will be some jokes. There are some special kind of jokes, you know, that are cultivated in India. So we'll have that kind of jokes.
All right.
And of course, we are not forgetting our mainstream community. One of the persons who is coming from the mainstream community is going to perform Johnny Cash song.
Oh, nice.
Then Detroit Blues.
Perfect.
Then this president here, he is going to perform a song from Beatles.
Are you now? Wow.
If there's time.
Well, no, I mean, so it's a contest. Are there prizes for the winners?
Yes, we have 3 judges and prizes.
Oh, you have judges?
Yes.
Well, that sounds great. And who are the judges?
Well, we have to pick up local judges. We cannot have
you
those
can't
street
have
photos.
Simon Cowell and all those other guys. No, I know.
But we'll have face masks.
Oh, so
which
funny.
are legal.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. What made you decide to do that?
Just to bring community together, to bring the inside people. We want to make interesting programs.
Okay, perfect.
So this is the second one that we are putting together.
Okay.
First one was very successful to the point that now we want to restrict entrance to only 150 because the hall
because it can't hold them.
Cannot.
All right. So you have attendees and then you have performers. And how many performers do you think you'll have?
About 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10, 11, something like that.
Okay, all right.
And also we have some skits, you know, some comic skits. There is going to be a monologue, which is kind of on a serious note, but it ties in with women's empowerment at any age, you know, at any age. So that's going to be interesting. So I'm glad we have such variety of programs.
It sounds
And I'm
great.
looking forward to it. I'll be the MC. I mean, that goes with my job.
All right.
So my job is to tie everything together in a unified whole.
Okay.
So it doesn't come out haphazard and all kinds of entries are tied in a nice program.
Right.
And since we have like an hour and 15 minutes, we can't take more entries, but we want to take as many as we can.
Right.
And keep the next extra ones with thank you notes for the next time.
Yes, that will be good because you got to get them on and off the stage quick because they might like being up there and it's going to take them 5 or 10 minutes just to get off, right?
Yeah. No, we are trying to organize it properly so everything just flows and not comes out as a haphazard entry. And of course there is food. The climax will be the food, the Indian food.
Okay, so you guys have food too. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring up our slide and tell people there's 2 different dates that are very important because you have those who want to participate as talent. You would like the entry sent in by May 20th and through an email.
Yes.
And we have the email listed there, or they can call 949-768-1310 to get more information by May 20th, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and if they want to attend the event, they need to RSVP by May 24th. And then how will they get the money to you? Would they just
pay at the door is fine.
Oh, okay. So they're just reserving and then they get that discounted rate.
But if they don't, then there's $20 at the gate.
Right, so you got to make your
we want to
reservation
plan.
or it's $20 at the door.
We don't like to waste food.
No. Okay, so you're just trying to get a
they
head count.
They get a good discount if they register early. We just so we'll go by the list. Whoever has registered, they will get it only for $10.
Okay, that's perfect.
$10 members, $15
for guests,
non-member residents.
Yes.
And at the gate, $20.
Okay, all right, great. Well, wonderful. Well, it looks like a very fun event. Is there anything that I missed?
Pardon me?
Anything I missed?
Well, the name is Laguna Woods Got Talent.
Yeah,
we want to bring it.
Well,
they have got talent, definitely.
So bring in your talent. We got to
absolutely.
How many do you have enough? You don't have enough people yet for performing.
We still have room for a couple
more. All right, a couple more. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for both being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, and don't forget.
And next time we'll bring food.
Okay, next time we bring food. Okay. Don't forget, Laguna Woods Got Talent is May 30th. Don't forget to send in your entry form to perform. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome back. I'm Kiana Lee. Today we're talking with Dr. Christine Chung of 7 Day Dental. Today's topic is bad breath. Doctor, what do we need to know about bad breath? Mom.
Oh, sorry. Bad breath is caused by poor oral hygiene, which eventually leads to dental, gum disease, and decay. It's an easy fix.
Thank you, doctor. So don't wait, people. Come on in and get your 7-Day Dental Smile.
So you gotta work and leave. The summertime blues.
Welcome back.
Yes.
We've got 2 movies for you. One this Friday, which is called The Sisters Brothers. And it is adventure comedy with a little bit of crime thrown in. It's 1851, and Charlie and Eli's sisters are both brothers and assassins in a savage and hostile world. The sisters brothers find themselves on a journey through the Northwest, bringing them to the mountains of Oregon, a dangerous brothel in the small town of Mayfield, and eventually the gold rush land of California. An adventure that tests the deadly family ties that bind. And as you can see by what you're looking at, it's got that old feel where, you know, we've always got some cowboys and some shooting and a sheriff, and it always has the same sort of feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's kind of nice to see another Western.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love the Westerns.
Yeah.
And, you know, this one's got some good people. John Riley, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jake Gyllenhaal, and so it looks really good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember even seeing, did this even go into the theaters?
I don't recall, I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to make a sequel called The Brothers Sisters, and then there's going to be the Mother Fathers and the Fathers Mothers, and go on and on and on. It's never ending. The uncles, aunts.
Sometimes he just cracks me
There
up.
we are. Now, a classic movie, In a Lonely Place. This is a Humphrey Bogart. Came out in 1950, and it's about a Hollywood screenwriter played by Humphrey Bogart and his neighbor, a woman that they're just getting to know each other romantically when police begin questioning Dixon, that's the Humphrey Bogart character, about his involvement in the murder of a girl he once met. Certain who knew love interest is innocent, Laurel stands by Dixon, but as the police continue pressing him, Dixon begins to act increasingly erratically, and the blossoming love affair suffers as Laurel begins to wonder if he really might be the killer.
Certainly not
love
funny.
and intrigue.
Not funny at all.
No, but you know,
Serious.
classic Humphrey Bogart film.
Yes. Yep. Looks really good. Looks
Yeah.
good. All right. So we have a little bit of time.
We do.
What do we want to talk about?
Well, you know, the Senior
Summit that's,
this year.
When is that? Tomorrow?
That is Friday. That is tomorrow. And it's, again, not here, as it always has been. It's at the wonderful Soka University. And it's going to be an all-morning event that will include both breakfast and lunch. So therefore, they need you to make a reservation at ocsenioursummit.com, or please call them at 800-510-2020. That's 800-510-2020. They always have several guest speakers. And this is overseen by Supervisor Lisa Bartlett and the Council on Aging, as well as AgeWell Senior Services, and of course, Soka University.
Yeah, and you know, and you probably couldn't read the fine print, but it says door prizes and raffles We got to go just for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In fact, aren't they giving away the Mr. T and Mrs. T Bloody Mary mix?
No, it's going to be better than that,
That
I'm
would
sure.
actually, that would be a good one.
But there is breakfast and lunch, so that's pretty awesome.
And you want to tell us about this if there's still space
Oh,
available.
yeah. So this weekend, Saturday, is a Memorial Golf Tournament, and hopefully the weather will be okay. That's going to be, like I said, Saturday, and if you want more information about that, you can go to lwmgc.org. We did not hear whether it is, full, but go ahead and get your entry in so you guys can participate in that. And all the net proceeds go directly to the foundation of the Laguna Woods Village. So awesome. How about that weather?
That weather, we got a little rain out there. I just looked out there a few minutes ago, as you see there. It is almost a little stormy out. I mean, not really, but it's more of a heavy drizzle than hard rain. But we're going to see that throughout the day and probably taper off in the evening. Tomorrow and Saturday, partly cloudy. Probably clouds in the morning, then giving way to sunshine. Sunday, another little round of rain, less so than today. And then Monday, you can see mostly sunny. Then looking ahead to next week, we could get another little day of drizzle on Tuesday. We'll see about that.
Well, it's keeping it green.
Yeah, it is. I don't mind this at all. Look at the temperature drop all around. Now, for us in this area, we've kind of remained in the mid to upper 60s, which again is much lower than we normally are. But Arrowhead and Palm Springs have both dropped about 20 degrees compared to just a few days ago. So that's a big drop for
And you
them.
said Palm Springs is getting a little rain too, right?
Yes, and they have gotten about a half foot to a foot in the Sierras of snow. And
Can you believe it?
Big Bear will be getting a little bit today. Not much, a couple inches here and there, but
I
still.
might just have to go back to Mammoth.
There you go.
I mean, we can ski till July up
Yeah,
there,
I think so.
Crazy stuff. All right, so tomorrow we have United Mutual coming on, the City Council meeting report, Sterling Financial, and then the Tea Party Sentinels. So have a great day in the village and stay dry.
All right, bye-bye.